Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. And this is going to be a sort of channel update video on what future content I'm planning, of sort of what ideas I have. Maybe also if you have ideas, make suggestions in the comments of what you maybe would like to see. But yeah, here goes. This is going to be just rambling about some plans I have. And in order to not make this video too boring, in the background you're gonna be seeing me flying an Airbus A320neo from Berlin to Leipzig. Flight took about an hour, including pre-flight and post-flight and stuff. I don't know how long this video is going to be. It's pre-recorded footage, so I'm just gonna speed it up, I guess, if the video is shorter, because 1 hour might be a little too long for a video like this. Anyway, so my situation right now is my uni semester's been over for actually quite a while now, for like a couple of weeks. I've been working on some homework, still working on some homework assignments I have to hand in. But basically, I have an exam mid-October, and until then, apart from those few homework assignments, I have nothing to do. I also don't have any plans to go anywhere on vacation, other than maybe visiting parents for a couple of days. Mostly because I can't afford to go anywhere to vacation. So I'm gonna be spending a lot of time by myself with not much to do. So basically, I'm gonna have a lot of time and I'm going to be very bored, which usually results in a lot of content being made for the channel. So yeah, and that's why videos have been kind of released more frequently as of late. Yeah, so you probably noticed that there's a lot of RAM content right now. RAM as a topic used to be kind of boring for me, honestly. And I used to just go like, oh, that's a lot of time that people invest for unquantifiable amounts of gain, because I had no idea what RAM overclocking does. Now lately, I went into it and discovered, oh damn, that's why. Because, yeah, like if you look at some of the performance numbers I published on the community section, and there's the first ambulance, the windows are open, so we better get used to that. Yeah, so if you look at the performance numbers I published, yeah, you can get 30% extra performance from RAM. Admittedly, that's versus JDAC, but like even compared to like a 3200 or 3600 C-Die XMP, that's still like more than 15%. Like Ryzen 3rd gen to like Ryzen 3000 to 5000, that was like a 19% difference. So and like my best result isn't even fully tuned here. Like my good B-Die, I recently went into that again and looked at, oh my god, like some of the subtimings were like really bad and the tertiaries were not set at all. There's a lot more stuff to do with my good B-Die kit, so I'm like 20%. If you're running like 3200, 1618, 1838 versus that B-Die kit, I'm pretty sure 20%'s on the table. And that's just like going from a 3800X to a 5800X. That's the same performance increase, just another, like an extra generation of CPU you just get from overclocking. And it's similar on Intel, like Intel scaled just as well with RAM, even a little bit more than Ryzen. So yeah, I get why people spend a lot of time on RAM overclocking, because it can literally get you next gen performance if you just tune your RAM correctly. So that's kind of why I've been dabbling a bit more in it. I also, yeah, I bought like some super cheap RAM sticks. Like I got some OEM B-Die just because I wanted to know how good is OEM B-Die. It's bad. And then I got some E-Die. I have 2 single rank sticks. I now also have 2 dual rank sticks that my Apex hates. Like literally, I tried my best. It runs worse primaries than the OC formula, and just, yeah, it just hates E-Die because the Apex should mop the floor with the OC formula. And also, I don't believe that my G3900's IMC is better than the one on my 8700K. So Apex hates E-Die. So maybe OC formula is gonna get the dual rank sticks. The single rank ones work fine. The dual rank ones, it hates them. But yeah, so like there's potentially gonna be a video about like single rank versus dual rank performance, because I have like it's the exact same IC. It's just that one kit's single rank, one another is dual rank. And in overall quality, they seem to be the same for overclocking. So yeah, I could make a video about that, of like what dual rank does for you. I have my second OEM B-die stick now. I could do that. I could potentially tweak my daily settings a bit more. Like there's a few more things I could do with RAM, but I kind of want to do something else for now, because just RAM content, like, you know, is just gonna get boring at some point. So I don't want to do too much RAM stuff. So it's still on the table. It's still gonna happen sometime. Just not a priority right now. What I want to do as a priority right now is more GPU overclocking. Specifically Sub-Zero GPU overclocking. The problem I have actually run my GTX 760 192-bit again, but on water, just because there's no competition on HW board and I don't actually need to do it Sub-Zero. Also because that card doesn't scale that much Sub-Zero, because the voltage controller is like locked and you can't get more than 1.3 volts out of it without going over voltage protection or just e-powering the thing. So it doesn't actually do that well Sub-Zero. It just gets like a boost from, oh, it's colder now, so you get like 100 megahertz more. Which isn't that much because it already does 1320 on water. And like the next highest card on HW board is 1306. So yeah. 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 So I've been running that card. I put some stuff on HW board. I might run it again. I haven't done Vantage yet. Oh, I haven't run Superposition on it as well. I need to do that still. Also, I noticed no one has ever subbed SLI 760 192 bits. Like, basically, the two cards I have, they're just gonna, like, getting me mad amounts of golds on HW board. That's what their purpose is. But I kind of want to do a little bit more serious GPU overclocking, you know, like, where I actually have good cards to go up against. And the kind of problem that I have is I don't know what to run. I'm at the point where I have so many graphics cards that I just don't know which one to use. And that's an actual problem. Because, like, I'll go like, oh, I feel like running that. And then I see, like, oh, but I have this card, which is better. But this better card sucks to set up. And I don't feel like setting it up right now. And then I end up running nothing. Like, that keeps happening. Also, I kind of ran out of... Well, I ran out of capacitors, basically. I need to order new ones. I still have potentiometers and wires and solder and stuff. Because I want to do more modding. If you remember the GTX 260 comp, like, officially it's still running. It's just that no one's really been subbing anything for it for a while. I do want to reignite that one. Like, it kind of stopped because a heat wave rolled in and we were still on air, and so, like, everyone wasn't able to get better scores than when it was colder. Yeah. So I want to sub more for that. I don't really know if I want to do that right away, though. Yeah. So basically I want to do more GPU stuff, but at the moment I can't decide what exactly to do. So as a bridge, I thought, okay, how can I do GPU content without having to, like, where I can just pick a random thing and work with it. So I had an idea of maybe making a video series that's gonna be overclocking guides specifically for certain architectures. So, like, Fermi 2.0 overclocking guide, which is then, like, and it's gonna have, like, sections for, like, GF110, GF114, and then, like, what kind of voltages do you want to run on them, what kind of clocks do you expect, how do they scale, like, just kind of that, just kind of like, I've been doing GPU overclocking since 2019. I've gotten a lot more serious over time, but technically I started in 2019. And I just kind of want to feel like making a video series about just, like, all the stuff I learned just in one video, because it's actually kind of hard to find, like information like that. Like, you can find it all over the internet, but it's just kind of scattered around. And I don't really see a single point where like everyone goes like, oh hey, um, this is what you should probably get, and this is what you should probably mod on the card. This is what kind of cooling you're gonna need for good scores. Of course, me having a lot of cards comes in handy there, because then I've also been thinking of re-binning all the cards. Like a while ago I made binning chart videos where I tested all the cards and like what they overclock at a specific voltage. The problem with that is I tested most of those cards on whatever cooler they came with, and some came without a cooler, so I tested those on water cooling. So like of course that's like very unfair, and the data is not really all that useful because of that. So I thought, okay, what about re-benching, like re-binning all the cards on normalized cooling? And I've been kind of having difficulties deciding whether to do it on water or air, because water would be more consistent, but it's also a lot more work to set up. And also on air, like some cards need like specific base plates, and that might interfere with the air coolers. Or like if I just don't have a base plate, I can't just put a fan over VRMs or memory modules if they just, like, you can run benchmarks on naked VRMs, just like not for long, and you want to have a lot of airflow. And if I just have an air cooler that just shoves hot air from the GPU down on that, that's not gonna work really well. So I'm kind of leaning towards doing it with water cooling. It's just gonna take forever. Like, I can use the old binning data to sort of get an idea where to start on most cards, but it's still going to take a long time. Which is, yeah, why I want to do like for like generation per generation videos, because then I only have to bin like between like 5 and 10 cards, and I like 50. Actually, I counted how many cards I had once. It was over 50. I have way too many graphics cards. Yeah, actually, like, too much. And then there's like some generations, like 900 series, where I have like 2 cards. I could have a lot more than 50. But at this point, I'm actually running out of space to store them. So, yeah. So I just kind of want to work with what I have right now. It's just like, again, I have difficulties deciding on what exactly to do. Because like I want to mod cards. First I have to get capacitors, and I go like, oh, is this PCB good for modding? But the other card already clocks better. They're just, but I also kind of want to rebin them, because I want to get an idea like which card's the best to run. Because I have general understandings of like, oh, this one's kind of good and this one's not that great, but like, I just want to know, like, all of the cards at 1.15 volts with the same heatsink, how do they clock? And then that's just going to be a much better metric than, oh, you plug the card in and I was able to do like that. And then other cards got like different stock voltages, different stock heatsinks, it's just gonna like not help. Also on 500 series, I'm gonna be running them delidded, because the stock paste application under the IHS has some big variants. Like, some cards look really good, and then some others come with like the edges of the die not even covered. So like, yeah, that also kind of throws a bone, because like when you do extreme overclocking, you delete the card anyway. It's just usually the stock air cooler it comes with doesn't work deleted, so you have to put it back on. That's kind of annoying to do, and yeah, anyway. So one plan that I've had is like these overclocking guide videos. So there's like one Fermi 2.0, one for Fermi 1.0, one for Kepler. I don't know if I have enough data to make one for Maxwell, but for like for GCN, that's about it. Yeah. So that's the thing I've been trying. I've been thinking about doing it. Those videos are gonna be like higher production quality, and they're gonna take a long time to make, just because I need to bin the cards. I'm gonna be writing a script because I want to have it like somewhat structured, so like, because it's like supposed to be for beginners also, so it's supposed to be like easily digestible. And a guy rambling for 30 minutes, it's not easily digestible, because people just want to know like what kind of voltage do I run, and then if I have like a good script and then like the timeline thing on YouTube, and people can just jump, oh, expected voltages, there we go. So those videos are gonna take longer to produce. So I don't know when or even if I'll do them. I kind of wanna do them, but it's gonna take a longer time to do. Other plans. Potentially more LGA 775. I've been thinking about it. I have the P5E. I have several CPUs for it. I could run the like my Phase Change has a CPU and a GPU adapter. I can run CPUs with my Phase Change. I will potentially do that. It's just that like the main issue I have with 775 is that because you do FSB, you also overclock your RAM, and I have no idea how DDR2 works. Like, I've been trying several times, and usually what I run into is that I can't get more clock out of it simply because my RAM becomes unstable. Not because the CPU or the FSB can't do anymore, no, it's just RAM unstable. So yeah, but I kind of want to do more 775. Yet another thing, live streams. Ever since I moved into my new apartment, I've had good enough internet to do live streams. I did one, and then just didn't do any. I kind of wanna make live streams more, like, just whatever. Like, the topic's just gonna be, oh, let's bench this GPU, or like, let's mod this GPU. Just whatever. Like, I don't think I'm gonna stream like gameplay or anything, but like, just, you know, like modding live streams, benching live streams, maybe for like when HW bot things are going on, maybe just for because I feel like it. Maybe also just like testing out RAM, just stress testing RAM live streams so you can suffer with me. Yeah, I wanna do live streams too. That's another thing that I wanna do. Because I also like I got a proper like USB 3.0 Type-C cable now for my webcam, because like my webcam came with like a 3-meter cable, which is just a bit too short for my setup. I need like a 5-meter cable. Like I would probably be fine on a 4-meter, but because I move around my stuff a lot, I would just want to have the extra headroom of a 5-meter cable. And previously I was using like a hub, which is fine for the capture card and my EVC, but the webcam hates it. It does not like it. Also, my Type A to Type A extension cable that I use in together with the hub, also just the camera didn't like it. It was having weird artifacts, and I could only run it at 1080p. But recently I got myself like a Type-C cable that was actually meant for like a VR headset. So it's meant to carry video signals. But instead of plugging it into a VR headset, I just plugged it into my webcam, and now that one runs at 4K, just full frame rate, no visual artifacts, just runs fine. So I'll have proper webcam resolution too now. And then like capture card, that's easy. Just, you know, it's a capture card. It's not much to set up. Yeah. So that's kind of what I've been thinking about. Is there anything else? I don't really know. Maybe like, okay, one thing that I planned to do, or more like wanted to do, but had no real plan of how I would do it when I had the very beginning of the channel. It was sort of meant to be a, like, I never planned to have like vast amounts of graphics cards. I was planning to like have a maximum of 5 maybe. And I was planning to do like lots of content per card, where like I go through modding them, benching them with different situations, and just like kind of having a sort of video log thing of like how cards go. I don't think doing that would be such a great idea. Like, if I just make 5 videos about the same graphics card in a row, and the only difference is like, oh, there's a few more caps now, or like, it has a better cooler now. I think that's gonna be quite boring. But maybe, like, when I mod a card and bench it, I would potentially try to make a video about, like, modding the card, like, specifically going into mods for that I did on the cards. And like basically whenever I yeah, whenever I bench a card, there will be like probably one video on benching the card, like showing the scores, what it did, and then there'll be like a technical explainer video on like these are the mods I did, and like just kind of, if you have the same card for some reason, you can take it as a modding guide or whatever. That's sort of an idea that I've also had. Yeah, and then what else is there? Like usually when I make videos, I come up with them on the spot and then just like do it. I don't really make plans for the channel. I just kind of like, oh, this is neat. Let's make a video about that. So I don't usually make plans like this. Yeah, but like if anyone else has suggestions in the, like, just put it in the comments. If you have an idea for what I could try. By the way, ideas that involve, oh, buy this expensive piece of hardware are not gonna work because I don't have any money. That's why I do Fermi and Kepler cards, because they're cheap. I like under the RAM videos, I was getting like, oh, just like buy a Maximus 13 Apex, just like with what money? And even if I had the board, I would still need a CPU, because that doesn't run with an 8700K. Like, yeah, I don't have that kind of money. I'm a university student. I don't even have a job. Like, my job is being a student. I'm basically supported by my parents, and the money I have left over at the end of the month goes towards like stuff like this. Is basically how it works, and that will not change in the next couple years. Like, COVID kind of ruined my entire uni plan, like, or more like set it back like 2 years. So like I've been in uni since also like 2019, and I've managed to get like maybe 2 semesters worth of stuff done since then, because the COVID semesters were just really, really bad. Like, that there was no motivation and no getting things done. And like the semester that just ended, which is one of the productive ones, that was the first one that was like properly there again, which is why I also moved here. Yeah, so like until I'm done, and like the amount of time you're meant to take for the thing I'm doing is like 3 years. It'll probably be like 4 or 4.5 for me, because they assume you have a lot of time to spend. Like, it's like, it's 3 years if you're spending like 8 hours at uni every day. Then it's 3 years, and I don't know if I'm capable of doing that. So there'll probably be like 4.5, and I've done like 2 semesters 1 year. Like, basically I've 1 year done now. Plus the exam that's coming in October. That's still part of the first year thing. And after that, well, that might be interesting, because like, I have a hidden playlist on the channel about plane spotting, because I like planes. That's it. That's just kind of it. That's also why the background things from Flight Sim. Like, I don't know if I said this before, but I'm planning to start pilot training after uni. That's the thing that I've set out to do, that I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do. I just want to get my my bachelor's degree first, because not specifically because you needed to become a pilot, but just like because it helps you to get a job. Like, not specifically as a pilot, but like because getting a pilot's license is expensive, and even if you have the license, it sometimes takes like a year to actually find a place to work as a pilot, and until then, you better have a job to pay for your license. And if you have a degree, then you have a much easier time getting a good paying job to do that. It's basically the idea. And also, because I'm doing like some in like engineering, you could like work as a ground crew or like aircraft engineer, and then already work in the space and stuff, and have better chances to get a job because you already know stuff. Anyway, it's a thing. Like, after I'm done with uni, I'm planning to start commercial pilot training. That's just the thing that I wanna do. Maybe there will be more content on the channel like this. Like, it is a technical thing. Like, it's sort of the same stuff, but, like, Planes is not overclocking. We'll see about that, like, yeah. Like, if I've been... Yeah, like, I mean, you can see in the background I can somewhat fly an A320. I've been thinking of, because there's a local thing that offers you to, for quite a lot of money, to be fair, but I would have enough to pay for one session to just, like, fly a proper A320 simulator. I was thinking of maybe, like, maybe record that, if they let me. But yeah, maybe there will be, like, plain stuff content. I don't know. It's not gonna be a norm for the channel. It's still gonna be like a overclocking, modding, somewhat repairs channel. It's just a thing. Like, if you see aviation content pop up, now you know why. Yeah. What else is there to talk about? Yeah, I don't really know what else there's to talk about. That's just kind of, yeah, I think that's all the ideas I've had. Like, yeah, so basically the main thing I'm gonna try to do is, like, do the, like, sort of overclocking guides for, like, certain graphics card generations, and then, like, live streams, and then whatever else I can think of. I think that's pretty much it. So not even 30 minutes long. That's cool. I'm gonna have to speed up the footage by quite a lot. Wow. Yeah. That's just kind of what I've been trying to say. Like, kind of just what's going on, what I'm planning to do. And yeah. So if you're still here, thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye.